Work it. DJ Funk, work it. Wait. Oh, man, I didn't know we were live. Oh, I'm sorry. That was really, really, really embarrassing. Even more embarrassing than what you're about to watch right now. That's a show I run called The Nerd Report Live, and it's coming on right after this. And we're going to talk movies and other stuff and get you involved. So hopefully it'll be a little goofy because I'm hosting, but it'll be fun at the same time. Yeah. What's up, everyone? This is Lewis here, and we're a bit early. We're waiting for Popcorn Planet to conclude. We got Mr. Andy Signor over there with Jody's Corner. They're rocking the house. They're talking about everything from I don't know, from Wonder Woman to alien invasions and all this great stuff. Decided to go on a little early because honestly, I miss you guys, and Christmas is around the corner, and it's getting really hectic for me. So we're going to talk a few topics, some great stuff's been happening today, especially in the Wonder Woman front. And I'm going to bring you guys in, the people, our members, our commenters. If you guys have a topic or if you want to add to anything we've been talking about, feel free to bring it in there. You want to support the channel, you could do it via Super Chat. Become a member. We really love members. $1.99 is the lowest tier to $49.99 will be really appreciated to keep this show running, to keep my energy going. I already went through one cup of coffee. You know, they're like, what? They're like $3. So that works out. So if you could help me out with a cup of coffee, that'd be amazing. All right. One of our regulars here, we got in the house. We're going to be talking. You guys know him. You guys know him. He is David, the man March. What up, homie?
How's it going?
I'm doing all right, man.
It's going pretty well here after midnight.
Yeah, I think I knocked my camera off.
4 minutes will be after midnight.
Oh, really? You're in Canada, man, right? Canada has
Ontario.
time zones, though, right? You have different time zones like the States.
Oh, yeah. We're just like the United States. We have time zones. We might be slightly off, but we can dig ourselves out of our igloos, take our snowmobiles down to the 7-Eleven and get our coffees just like everyone else.
Well, let's do this real quick, all right? I want to give a shout out to all the early birds here because these are the people that have the notifications on, and I know they're the people eager all the time. It's like, when's Nerd Report going to start and whatnot? So let's give a shout out to some of the people here real quick. And Kansha Joswell. I know I've pronounced this word. Your name properly before. I probably forgot how to pronounce it now. But thanks for supporting us by coming in early. And of course, this is Paul. What's up, Paul? How you doing, man? Always love when you call me mate. We don't use that lingo here in the States, but maybe we should introduce it. A Dark Howdo Gamer. That's I believe that's my buddy George. Robert Makes the Cut. What's up, homie? How you doing? And we're gonna be talking about that. Yeah, Tom Cruise and stuff like that. Stanley Thornton, Stanley the man Thornton in the house. Also, we got Robin, our nerd girl Robin in the house. One of the biggest supporters ever since this podcast or channel started, man. So thanks. Statin up for nerds. Stand up for nerds. Yo. Stand up for nerds. Yeah, the two ends is I don't know, man. Maybe I'm blind. Right here. Oh, what's up with this guy? The Wave
Thrasher.
Yeah. Cool, man. I mean, it is everybody, opinions are like that part of the body that everyone has. Everybody has an opinion, right?
Right.
Nerd Report. Sup, nerds? I don't know what this doesn't translate right on our channel though. Look. It's an emoji. But Robin, I can't tell what it is. All right, there we go. So, dude, you did a hate watch, right, for Terminator?
Yeah, I did. It's not
hold
necessarily.
on. Terminator, Dark Fate, right?
Yes.
Is that what it's called? All right. So, first up, your expectations going into the film.
Terrible.
That's what your expectations
like the
were.
worst version of Terminator ever is what my expectations were.
Was it better than you thought?
Yeah. I thought it was going to be much worse than it. So it's definitely better than Genesis.
There you go. I didn't like Genesis that much, especially the ending. So Terminator Genesis, not as good as Dark Fate. So if you go in with a bad, what's it called? Like a low expectations, it usually surpasses it. Was it much better than Genesis or just a little?
A little.
All right. We're getting there. We're going to talk spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, it's been like 2 years, then you probably don't have an interest in watching it. What did you like? Okay, so let's start off with, what did you like about the movie?
All the Sarah Connor stuff. I thought that was great. There's I thought there was like this. I felt there was in some better movie was lost in rewrites, and so every time she was on the screen, Linda Hamilton was on the screen. I felt she was actually delivering something interesting, something good, and her stuff was great. So I really liked her, and I felt she was well written. Her motivations were well written. Her decision making was well written, and and Arnold, when he shows up later in the third act, I like this. I like this Carl character and all the stuff he did and his motivations. So I felt like there was some sort of original treatment script out there, first or second draft, that was great. And then other people came along and ruined it.
Do you think that really happened?
Yeah, I have a feeling that something like that happened. Someone took a good, solid first draft script. I've read a script for the original Batman 2 with Michael Keaton, which blows the movie that we actually got out of the water.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what didn't you like?
The fact that they kept trying to retread earlier movies and
erasing the earlier movies, right?
Like, I was watching scenes and I was like, this was done better in Terminator 1. This was done, but here we have this car chase that's straight from Terminator 2. Terminator 2 did this better. Why are we not having something original here? All throughout the movie is like lampshading back to original 1 and 2 and even 3. I'm like, there were scenes, I'm like, hey, in Terminator 3, the bad Terminator had better capabilities than this new Terminator that showed up.
But I think we kind of we're getting used to the formula being that the next Terminator is always going to be bigger and better, and maybe that's not the case. Maybe there's models that aren't as good as the one in the sequel films. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something to that.
I think the problem is they keep trying to duplicate part 2, and when they do that, right? The one-liners.
A little less on the one-liners, but all these people kept telling me this was something like the remake of Ghostbusters. Go woke, go broke. This is not that. Anyone who tells you that this is a woke movie, my God, this movie is not woke. No. Like, I can spoil this ending. They rob the main character. Yeah, they rob her of her crowning moment of awesome. This person who's going to be the new replacement to John Connor. She's supposed to be kick ass and do that. The most compelling part of the first Terminator is when Michael Biehn dies, Linda Hamilton has to single-handedly defeat this killing machine from the future. And she does so, showing how much of a badass she is. And in this movie, they rob Danny, this character of that crowning moment of awesome, she has to be bailed out by the Terminator. Like, I watched that and I was like,
yep.
This movie's garbage.
I didn't think the movie was as bad as people say it is. I mean, it's not. They never could be Terminator 1 and 2. I wish they'd go back to the original film where like it's almost like a horror movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like practical effects and stuff like that. They keep trying to like top the next movie has to top the one previously, and it's like, and it's always has to be chasing the ghost of Terminator 2. Which
they had this whole situation. It's like, we want to top this other movie, but the fact is, the first movie is a horror movie with rated R level in the 80s rated R, and this movie is PG-13. Like,
well, we have a thing called now. There's a genre that is a sci-fi horror that was started from Alien, right?
Yeah, Alien and Terminator, the first Terminator movie, and a few other movies. There's some B-movies of the 70s too.
To a certain extent, look, I'm staring right now at an action figure from Creature from the Black Lagoon, right? That's sci-fi horror in a way, it's a mutated creature in a lagoon. I'm looking Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's the original.
A little bit of an echo, but so that to me is sci-fi horror because they got Dr. Frankenstein's creating a monster, right? Out of corpses. So that's something that Aliens and Terminator was kind of like a sci-fi horror. You're right. And then the second one's more like a action, rated R action. And then 3 is kind of like trying to mimic too much and ends up being an okay movie. Probably the best of the sequels. Then 4 is the one with Christian Bale, correct?
Yeah, that's Salvation.
That's the most different one because Arnold decided to be a governor. And and then what do you got? Genesis was just awful. The second part of Genesis was bad, very bad.
Yeah,
and that's when they try to redo everything that happened before, right? And then we got this one, and so it was better than you thought, but still not good.
Yeah, I gave it a 55 out of 100.
55 out of 100.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grade your stuff from a skill percentage, like a teacher.
Yeah, kind of. Exactly.
All right. That brings us up to our next topic because we're gonna go topic by topics. So on kind of like it's related. Remember, Genesis is where is it Genesis? Salvation is consensual cannibalism.
Yeah, I completely derailed Andy's show with that. I went on Twitter and it's like, what is this trending here for?
Okay, so we're getting rated by Popcorn Planet and Jody's Corner. Jody, I send you a link on Twitter. Same thing with Andy. Thanks, guys, for your support. Consensual cannibalism was the main topic on Popcorn Planet. And David March was the person who brought that topic upon us, upon the internet, the plague. So if you look at the chat right now and all you see is consensual cannibalism over and over again, that's our friends over there at Popcorn Planet and Jody's Corner. And David March is the guy who brought it upon us, man. So that's trending in Canada, right?
It was trending in Canada. I'm like, wait, of all the things to trend right now, it's consensual cannibalism. Okay. And most of the pictures, I went into the feed and was looking at it, and it's all like,
you looked at pictures
happening in my country was what the number, like, feed post after post on the Twitter is like, why are we talking about this? What is going on here?
Yeah, but that actually triggers the algorithm. You know what I mean? So it's like a circle. All right, we got Mr. Andy, the man Signor.
It was a weird stream, so happy to come over here and stop talking about cannibalism. Thanks, David. It took us in a weird direction. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
look, if that was trending in America, everybody would be like, "Damn Americans!" Right? So it's your turn. It's Canada's turn to get a little bit of criticism. That is weird, man.
Yep.
Especially with such a goody two shoes reputation Canadians have with us. But hey, it's well deserved, man. Because we know you personally. We could
Good to see everybody following the rule. Yeah, they came over and mentioned it. So good.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
thanks for bringing your peeps in here, man. Look, I was watching your stream and I saw something interesting that you were talking about. You're bringing an alien show to Popcorn Planet, right? What's that about?
I'm gonna try. I've had a couple hit episodes featuring, my belief in UFOs, aliens, and so every time I do it, I'm like, hey, if you believe and you got stories, email me, reach out, because my contact info's out there. And I got a person who I'm hoping to talk to this week. I'm not gonna say anything yet, but it's someone who has experience with who saw aliens. And so, old me might be like, this person's crazy, but no, new me is open and going to hear this person out. They got some photos. We're going to go through it. It's going to be fun. Excited. So I'm looking forward to trying to experiment and finding more people out there with alien stories to come on as exclusives to Popcorn Planet to share to the believers.
Yeah, and Myra over there suggested George Norrie, which George Norrie's on KFI here in Los Angeles. Guy's awesome. You can listen to him for hours. He believes that you could call him with any story. He believes that happened.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they'd just be nice, right? Because who knows? Maybe they.
No. He really believes it. No,
he really. I didn't know. Maybe they're all real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, that's true, man. Has anything?
Nope.
David and Andy, has anything? What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you?
I've seen an alien. I will say it. I saw a spaceship.
Right.
I had a video of it on I think it was on Facebook. Can I share it with you? Actually,
yeah.
I saw it in.
I want to say what's up to MC McCate, I believe it is, new subscriber. I'm getting the subscriber notifications right here. They're coming in. Good. Hear the music right here. Cameron 1117. Thanks for joining here at Nerd Report. Thanks for coming into the family and joining the family. Go for it, Andy.
No, I was gonna say welcome. Yeah, good. Everyone subscribe. Do what you got to do here and support Lewis.
Oh, and I also have tickets to Greenland, which is something you said you like.
It was awesome.
So I'm going to drop the link.
I will have to watch that tomorrow. You sent me the
I gotta
link.
Say, take up Lewis on his links because I had a blast. My girl watched it with me. We sat and we thought, it's gonna be stupid, whatever. We ended up getting hooked and enjoyed the hell out of it.
Good.
And it's just a silly. It's pretty serious. I was surprised how tense it was. It's just it's way better than I thought it was going to be. I don't want to overhype it because I went in very low expectations, but yeah, surprisingly better than I thought it would be.
Have you ever watched Sean Connery's Meteor from the 70s?
Sean Connery's? No. Oh, the one you told us about it before.
Have I? There's a movie with Sean Connery. It's kind of a mini series called Meteor from the 1970s. It's not the best thing ever, but it was like one of the very first movies of the genre. So Sean Connery plays this scientist, and the Americans have like a series of meteors are going to hit the United States after like an explosion in the asteroid belt, and the Russians and the United States have to
Myra for the super chat. Sorry, I want to give a shout out to Myra for the super chat. Hi Lewis, hi David, hi Andy. I love George Norrie. There you go. Thanks, Myra.
Okay.
Go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's like one of the very first movies of that type of asteroid hitting the Earth genre. I believe the first one would be the movie where it's like there's another Earth coming in, and they have to I can't remember what that one's called, but that's from the 50s. But yeah, it's a very Irwin Allen type thing with Sean Connery called Meteor.
Shout out to Matt Munoz, latest subscriber. So thank you for subscribing. And I'm going to be sharing the link to be among the first to check out Gerard Butler's new disaster type film, Greenland. I thought it was good. It's a great popcorn flick, Andy, and I think everyone here is going to enjoy it. It's not like groundbreaking, like, oh my God. But
no. You got to go in low expectation, but I was more intense and fun than I like. a good thrill ride, good environmentally. Oh crap, it was like Deep Impact, but better. Hey, I found the alien. Ready?
Is this you?
So yeah, this is an old Facebook post from ages ago, and it didn't film as well. But I'm telling you, I saw this light in the sky, and hard to tell in the video. But I'm telling you, this was crazy. We were freaking out, like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? And as we were driving, and then out of nowhere, it was not a plane. I know it looks crappy from my video, my iPhone. It was dark. iPhone didn't do very well. This was back in 2015, and then out of nowhere, this like bright shining light, it just vanishes. You'll see in a second. We did catch it's like sort of just, it went away. It's like big light went away, and then this huge cloud and lights everywhere. The video doesn't really sell it, but the audio of it then it disappears, and then I couldn't see the color in it, but it was like Aurora Borealis all across the sky, and so it was clearly something weird. I went on Twitter and I'm like, what the hell was that? That was not something. And that was not a plane. That was something weird happened. And then they said, oh, it was a missile test. They because Twitter and other people noticed it because it was over by where is that? Woodland Hills, like that part of LA. I forget what county that is. By like Valencia and stuff. Anyway, a lot of people saw that and were like, what the hell's going on? So they sent an initial, they did a missile test. And that's why you saw the colors and the speed. Dude, no, don't buy it. Why would the missile test be filled with lights and stuff? So my point being, like, I saw that once, and I both me, my ex-wife at the time, my kid was in the car. He was little though. We were like, what is going on? It was totally abnormal. And so, yes, I've seen it. I believe weird shit's out there, and I do believe they covered up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've been when I travel in the desert, like going to Vegas or something, there's been a lot of shooting stars. Those are freaky as well, but you can't really tell if they're aliens or they look like shooting stars, but it's really clear and stuff when you're driving in the desert. But I believe there are aliens or there's life on other planets. I don't know if they've been here before. I hope they have, because that'd be kind of boring, like just the world by itself, like in the corner. Nothing could get near it or whatever. But yeah, I do believe in life outside of the Earth. There has to be intelligent too, because like you said on your previous show, Andy, there's too many combinations out there with the galaxies and the stars. And
yeah, this universe is too big for just us.
Yeah, and a lot of them are older than us. They're older than us, and they're very similar in the atmosphere. They must be. So they're probably not looking like us, but probably intelligent in a way, which we're not there yet. But anyways, listen, I'm going to drop the first link to check out Greenland in the comments.
Go do it before it fills up. Sometimes it fills up.
The what? Yeah, sometimes it fills up. So check it out.
And then when they send you the invite link, you got to go check in immediately because they do sometimes fill up. But it was a pretty easy process.
Okay, I'll need to do that tomorrow.
It's worthy of seeing for free for sure.
So I dropped the link. You got to RSVP there, and yeah, it's a fun one to check out. And what was the comment right here? Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, Marina Baccarin. Is that how you spell her? Is that how you pronounce her name?
Baccarin.
Yeah. Right. She's Brazilian, so her name's probably Brazilian. I have an interview with her going up this week, so check it out. Kind of works better if I know how to pronounce her name, but I'm sure I did.
Wasn't she one of the Bond girl?
She was on Homeland, Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So we did those interviews with her a long time ago, and then it was postponed, of course, because of the Bud Light. So now we're on Amazon, right? It's going to head over to Amazon.
Oh, is that where it's going first?
I believe it is Amazon. Yes. So it got moved to Amazon. So that's a good move from Amazon to Amazon. It's not like what HBO Max is doing.
Yeah, we're not supposed to review it, but whatever until tomorrow. But they won't know me here. But I was gonna say I thought it could have been a really cool limited series. Like they could have spread it out, probably a couple more episodes, and it has sort of the vibe of like could have been an 8-episode cool series starring Gerard Butler for a streaming outlet with some more add a couple more action scenes, and I think it would have been fun. But anyway, I think it's worth checking out, especially if it's on Amazon Prime and you have it there. Totally check this out if you missed the streaming tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's streaming's pretty easy, right, Andy? To just get the link.
Yeah.
So I've seen that.
Yeah.
So I have a few left. So take advantage of that link. So also in the news today, Tom Cruise went full on Christian Bale. And so I'm gonna ask you guys, who do you think was worse, Christian Bale or Tom Cruise? Obviously, you played the audio on your channel. I do believe both of these guys were right in throwing a tantrum, but apparently someone or a couple of people on the crew members of Mission Impossible 7 were not respecting social distancing rules established by the cast and crew before they started working there. They probably had to agree to, follow directions. I mean, it's their company, so they need to follow it. So he went crazy. I never heard Tom Cruise do this in public, but I will say that I do feel like that was in Tom Cruise. Like, he does look like someone that would probably get pissed off. And he's like, if you do this again, you're effing gone. And if anyone in this crew does it, that's it. And you too. So he was pointing at everybody, right? And you don't you ever effing do it again. So he was like going after everyone, man. Like pointing at everyone.
Tom Cruise was clearly much more in control here. Hey, I have $50 million of my own freaking money stuck in this production, and you jackasses are threatening that by getting us shut down for 2 weeks. Stop screwing around.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap what you guys are goofing off. We have millions of dollars on the line here. Some jack-off inspector could come in and shut us all down. He has. Look, I gotta request to play the video. Something played his name back in the day, being pissed off at like.
Let me play the video real quick. So if anyone missed it, real quick, let's see. Can you hear it?
Yeah, turn up a bit.
You're back there in Hollywood making movies.
It's all the way.
Because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs.
There's an echo.
I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone. And anyone on this crew does it. That's it. And you too. And you too. And you. Don't you ever do it again. That's it. No apologies.
Wow.
Tell it to the people that are losing their homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on their table or pay for their college education.
I don't know. That's
what I sleep with every night.
Listening to this again, it sounds a little staged.
Doing a monologue.
So I'm sorry, I'm beyond your apologies. I have told you, and now I want it. And if you don't do it, you're out. We are not shutting this movie down. Is it understood? If I see it again, you're
yes, sir.
It's so
Yep.
So you're going to cost him his job. And I see it on the set, you're gone. And you're gone. That's it. Am I clear? Do you understand what I want? Do you understand
yes, sir.
the responsibility that you have?
Yes. Oh, whatever you say, sir.
And if you can't be reasonable,
thank you, sir. May I have another?
with your logic, you're fired. That's it.
2,000 thank yous.
I trust you guys to be here. That's it.
That right there, when he says, I trust you guys to be here, there's a certain tone in that there, which makes me believe it was real.
Okay, so here's my takeaway now. I think it may have been scripted, but hey, you know what? Doesn't matter. It's still awesome because look, the part why I think it may have been scripted is because the constant him repeating over and over again that thousands of people have lost their jobs and we're giving them a job is something that needs to be told, because me, like having a small business, we can't really talk much about it. We can't really defend ourselves, but we get bashed for daring to open up and trying to make a living in California. Mm-hmm. So for him to do that, to me, I'm looking at him as a hero. If it was fake or not, it doesn't really matter. It's still a good thing. He kept repeating to the normies, because everyone's watching this. Everyone's going to be watching Tom Cruise, why it's important that some industries stay open. He kept repeating the thousands of people being employed. People don't understand that. They think Tom Cruise is losing money only. And they're saying, well, he's a millionaire. He doesn't care about people. No, this speech or whatever it was, whatever he did here is going to get to people and say, hey, you know what? He's right. Because I'm sure the production is getting slammed just for being open. There's a lot of cases going on throughout the world right now, not just the United States. If you look, there's surges everywhere. So I think this was great. And don't get me wrong. Maybe it was scripted. Maybe my opinion is that, or your opinion may be that, but it's something that's got to be said, told, and known that this is happening. They are providing jobs for people. And he's trying to defend the production. Thoughts?
I don't think it was scripted. A, that tone at the end where he's like, I trust you guys and you're screwing up. And B, if it had been scripted, it would have been more like the one from Salvation where it was on film. Mm-hmm. If they intended to have this go out, he would have been like on a set with people with cameras on him going out.
He wasn't. His wasn't video.
I've seen the Christian Bale. He was on video.
It was a video?
I never saw the video. I only heard that.
It only came up recently, and I definitely saw a video where he's like really tearing into that guy. So,
and Christian Bale to me was in the right, because just like Tom Cruise said today, he's like, because a lot of people like came off the Christian Bale story and they're like, he has a big ego, this and that. It's like, well, no, he's proud of his work, first of all, and second of all, there are millions of dollars at stake with Christian Bale films, and I'm getting an echo. Or is that Andy producing?
No.
Mm-hmm. All right. No, it's a soundboard I bought you.
All the video of Christian Bale is just subtitles. I can't find video anywhere.
If you find one, send it over to me. I want to check.
I want to see it too. So if it exists, send it to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his Tom Cruise. Thank you for expressing those thoughts. It does feel. Look. The only reason I'm saying this too is because it does feel like it's something that's been burning in him for a while. He probably wants to get the industry going, and he sees a lot of people losing their jobs. So yeah, so this is good for Tom Cruise. Any last thoughts on this, guys?
No, I don't. The more I hear it, I feel like some of the repetition things he's saying almost makes me think it is not staged. Sort of just somebody, in the heat of it. Sort of that's what happens. When you're like, what? I got to calm down. I got to get did I get it clearer? I'm just going to say it again. It doesn't, I don't think he did it on purpose. Now, maybe the leak was someone involved. Maybe there's some pressure on the movie and someone else did sort of put it out there in the world. Cause clearly a crew member doing this will not help the movie. Cause now Tom's going to be even more pissed that someone on his crew leaked it to the Sun. You know what I'm saying? So, that's not going to be fun to work on.
Myra's super chat. Thank you, Myra, for supporting. Yeah, you can hear the music a little bit too. Look, you hear the music? No music. There you go. Thank you. I got this music. I got to have it a little bit muted. What's that?
Thanks for watching.
What's that? Ignore playing some Popcorn Planet on this channel.
No, sorry. I'm trying to close this and it keeps. Sorry.
All right. So Myra Super Chat says Cruise and Bale can be abusive, but Whedon crucified. I think it's a different kind of. I don't even know what Whedon did though. I don't know what he did. I mean, I know there's a personal life stuff going around, but as far as like his thing in Justice League, I want to know exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Besides CGIing Henry Cavill's mustache and making it look silly, or not. I don't know. I don't know.
It wasn't even his fault, you know?
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
movie wise, I don't know Joss Whedon. I've heard stuff that people turned against him after the Avengers. He was like praised by everyone.
Yeah, like
know-
I still consider the sequel to that the worst Marvel film. Joss Whedon, feel his best days are behind him.
I didn't like Firefly, so I'm not a fan of that. So I mean, I
Yeah,
know
Firefly is the problem with Firefly is he's answering questions that no one really wanted the answers to in that movie.
Yeah,
The stuff we were all interested in Firefly was stuff dealing with the psychic girl and a few other things going on in that world. And instead, he gave us all answers to the Reavers. And I'm like, I don't really care that much about the Reavers. They weren't that interesting.
Okay, everyone who's subscribed to a Nerd Report right now, if you did not get a link, these are subscribers only. You got to just subscribe, follow our channel here. If you did not get a link, press 1 and I'll drop the link again. This is for Greenland and it's going to show tomorrow. I think they give you a small window. It's pretty much guaranteed you'll see it. You just have to RSVP. They'll send you the email confirming you and stuff like that. So please do me a favor, press 1 if you need a link, and I'll share it again. All right, guys, on to our next topic real quick. We got Wonder Woman. The review embargoes have lifted. Most of the reviews out there are positive from what I could see. Most reviews are respecting spoilers and stuff. And what else could I say about it? They had the virtual red carpet. Did you guys see it? Anyone get to see the virtual?
It was okay.
Yeah. Well, what I want to say though is that the Hans Zimmer part was the best. So I gotta say, I
haven't even heard about this stuff.
Okay, it's still online, so you can check it out. So it's a Wonder Woman red carpet, and I feel that now that Patty has gone to make a Star Wars movie, it is time for Hans Zimmer to make a score a Star Wars movie. Thoughts on that?
Cool. Yeah, that would be very cool.
You guys good? Chat good with that? Hans Zimmer?
I like Ludwig Göransson too. He's been pretty good.
That's Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He did Tenet also.
Oh, okay.
So,
Black Panther. He's done a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
sign me
he
up.
did a Creed as well. So yeah, I'm down with that. But I've been itching for Hans Zimmer for a while. I love Hans Zimmer. I think he's awesome. So I feel my prediction is that for Patty's Star Wars movie, it's going to be Hans Zimmer, and it's going to be Gal Gadot as something. Hopefully a Sith Lord. Gal Gadot, the Sith Lord, or fighter pilot's kind of a given, but I'd rather see her as like a bad guy.
I'd rather Chris Pine go from Star Trek to Star Wars.
That'd be dope.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, guy. I think Hans Zimmer. I don't know why people like Hans Zimmer is a great composer. I don't know why.
You just like being hit repeatedly over and over again by large sounds of bong.
Well, that's just one movie. It's the one that stood out. But I mean, the score in The Dark Knight was amazing. The music in the DCU is the best. I mean, that's the best part of it. And stuff. Lion King. Did you like Lion King? Come on, he could give you Lion King. He could, he's awesome, man. I think. But anyways, I like the red carpet. You didn't like it, Andy, or you thought it was just okay?
No, I thought I just hated all the fake stuff. Like I liked the music cue, but I hated like the fake scripted, like fake Jimmy Fallon bit of like, wait, is this a bit or no? It's close.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Just be real and genuine and don't script it all. It all felt overly scripted and silly. But yeah, when the theme kicked in, it was awesome to see them do that theme. But it clearly also wasn't live. It's all pre-taped. But it was nice to see them all there, celebrate a little bit. There was nothing of substance in that red carpet. It was all predetermined puff piece,
Yeah.
Everybody looked nice. It was nice to see them, but they barely gave him anything to say either. Chris Pine and Pedro and Kristen hardly spoke anything.
It was heavily edited for sure. I think for the times and the situation we're in, fandoms got it the best out of all of them. I mean, we remember the Comic-Con thing that wasn't that good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I give you fandom. As much as I like the Star Wars Day, it was all corporate hacks coming out and telling me about the things I want to watch versus fandom, where they brought out the actors and the directors to tell us about these things they were making. Kathleen Kennedy telling me all about Star Wars. I would have had all sorts of presenters, not anyone but her, presenting all
she's
that.
the
She
one
did an okay job, but I'm like, I would have loved to see like some of the new talent coming out and telling us about this stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, look,
I agree.
But it's. I think we're getting an echo again. But other than that, Kathleen Kennedy deserves credit where credit is due, and she kind of like greenlit a lot of good projects. I mean, projects that are coming in the future, but at least Mandalorian, we could give her credit for that, right?
Can we? I always feel that Mandalorian was made over her objections.
Well, that's
who knows what's going on in the back rooms, but it felt like, no, we're going to give this Dave Filoni is a new direction. He wants to make this show. He's delivered on Clone Wars, where you've given us nothing but garbage. So we're going to greenlight his project. Shut up.
But what but I don't think it works that way. I think she has to she saw Filoni making a good show that people liked, and then she's like, hey, what else could we do? I think that's the way it works. Personally, but
I've been in corporate boardroom meetings. That's not always how it works.
Not always, but
I'm
I
not
feel
in the
like
entertainment industry, but I've been in enough situations where it's like, screw you guys. We're going with this guy.
Well, let me play devil's advocate. She wanted George Lucas's sequels, and
did she though?
I don't know.
Hold
on. But I'm using the March's reverse right here. I'm using his frame of thought, his argument. She wanted Lucas's idea, and the corporates at Disney said, no, we want what we got. We don't know.
Who knows what's actually happening? I think the reality, though, is that Kathleen Kennedy messed up with the fact that they haven't. When Bob Iger had to come out and admit that, we need to slow down Star Wars. That was a failure, and it was on her watch. And look, I know people like Rogue One. I still find Rogue One unnecessary. I've always said that since the beginning. Yeah, it looks cool. There's some cool sequences, but I didn't need it. No one really needed it. It just added a little piece to that's where the file came from. And it was like, there was no need for it. So that was dumb. Solo, I think, surprisingly was a better movie than I think people give it credit for. But because it was the Han Solo, movie, like the expectations were unreal, and it would never be able to do as well as it did. So I just think and then the sequel trilogy, clearly her fault. She threw away Colin Trevorrow's script. She made so many mistakes throughout it. There's just too many noticeable creative errors she's responsible for on her watch that we have to cut it. And now with Filoni and Favreau stepping up and really taking Mandalorian, starting with season 1, and I think lifting it up and actually giving it another awesome season with season 2. We need to give them more stuff to work on and not Kathleen Kennedy. But I don't think Favreau wants it, is the other thing, I
don't think I want Favreau being the person that does paperwork and is responsible for all that. I want Favreau to direct Mandalorian. That's what I want him to do. And then come out with the next show or whatever. I don't know if I want Favreau being the guy in charge of like, hey, we're going to have this person compose this. We're going to have this director do this. It's going to take time away from quality stuff. Myra with the super chat. Woo! Myra's supporting this channel, man, today.
Yeah. Supported mine too. Got everyone invested.
Thanks, Myra. Myra, if there's anything we can help you with, just reach out. David, I have to have. Oh, wait. Hold on. The music's starting. Hold on. Sorry. Got interrupted by music. David, I have to heavily disagree. Fandom was a fan event. The Disney one was for the investors, not fans. She's got a point there. To give them faith in
who pays
faith after this year's disaster.
Who pays the investors off? The fans are the ones who are going to deliver your show and make it happen. The investors are the ones.
And believe it or not, D23 looks exactly like that. So yeah, D23's presentations, they're kind of, I don't know, they're not that fun to attend in my opinion. David, you want to respond to that?
Yeah. So basically, Fandom was an event for the fans. The people who are going to pay the monies that will pay off the investors their investment. If you want it only to be for the investors, don't broadcast it to me. Right? Like, that's the situation.
Well, okay, hold on.
This is only going out to shareholders and those guys. Don't broadcast it on the internet and expecting all the other people out there.
Nerd Wars.
Come in there and watch.
Nerd Wars.
I mean, it's what are we confused? We're comparing DC Fandom back in the summer to the Disney Investor Day. Is that what we're doing right now?
Yes, we are.
I think that's what's happening.
I mean, from a technical perspective, Fandom was better. Like it was cool. It looked cooler than the boring slideshow that I think Disney put together. It was just standard corporate bullshit we've seen a million times. From a reveal standpoint, I mean, we knew what Fandom was going to show us. We got the Batman trailer, which was cool. I mean, they did show some trailers. I think so did Marvel, Loki.
Well, also Myra adds
Disney Plus had incorporated Hulu and Star into all of them. I think yes, I would have agreed. They would have then threw it over the edge, but I think it was probably pretty close. Yeah, I gotta say it's pretty close. There was some good. No, I mean, look, Fantastic Four, but he's been teasing that forever. There wasn't really that much new information aside from new shows that are in development for 2 years later. So, as exciting as that is, it's like, okay, when's that going to start? Oh, great, we have 2 years. So, Fandom's all coming out in the next year. So, yeah, it's a pretty good fight there.
Yeah. Also, Myra wants to add that Fandom Part 2 was a dud. I do agree. There's two reasons why Fandom. Actually, both of them kind of ended up losing out, although I enjoyed as I was watching. The first one was great because everything was happening simultaneously, in my opinion. And the second one, they decided to you could pick and choose what you watch. So it wasn't like everyone was waiting for the Batman presentation or the whatever, Snyder Cut, whatever presentation all at once. Everything was just thrown on there, uploaded at once. And what really hurt Fandom is that regardless of how excited you were for all the announcements, we got the announcement last week that everything's going to HBO Max anyways. So it feels like, okay. So there's nothing really, I mean, for me, it doesn't feel like anything big, it's kind of smaller in a way for me. But
the vaccine's in mass production by March and people are going everywhere. Everything that as I said before, all these movies are going back to the theaters. HBO Max will AT&T will 180 on theirs. We're just dropping it to our streaming service. No, if everyone's going back into the theaters, all those movies are going to be in the theaters only.
I don't know, man. I think they don't care about the theatrical revenue right now. They think that people are just going to come to HBO Max in droves with these new movies, and I think they're wrong. But I think AT&T has proven that they are so clueless with the business that I think they want this to be the model moving forward. They want AT&T wants folks to stream it at home. They don't want them to go to theaters. They want 100 million users. So how does going to the theaters help them to get some money? Unless we're back to full capacity, which I don't think is going to happen this year. I think we'll be back to a decent capacity this year. But I think even with the vaccine and stuff, people aren't going to take it. People are still going to avoid and stay home. We're in a different world. 2021 will be better, I hope and feel. But it won't be totally fixed and to think until 2022, in which case then AT&T can be like, see, we did it. Cool. Now we're doing our movies out. Plus you'll get it. And they'll probably work out some new windowing where it's like 2 months in theaters, third month in on HBO Max right away. So we'll see if it still works by that point. The reality, the other thing we have to factor is they may see that this doesn't help. Wonder Woman might be a surge, but then what do they got? The Denzel movie coming in January and maybe Mortal Kombat in March. I mean, like, I don't think they have a big draw until Godzilla, which they're now currently getting sued for. So who the hell knows?
Yeah,
well,
there's
one thing's for sure, all the stories that were out there that the Snyder Cut got HBO Max like 1 million subs may have not been true, or it's probably not true. Because
they don't have 1 million subs.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
8 million total, right? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's sorry, yeah.
But I don't think they got boosted. It didn't really boost as much as they wanted it
if
to.
HBO Max were available here, I'd drop Netflix and buy them, but they're not. So I'm going to go to
That's the
certain other
problem.
sources to get it
Availability. It's
delivered.
like the availability. It's like I have this great product. Can I get it? No. Okay. Okay. So my last thing I want to say about Wonder Woman. We love the film. I think Jody loved it too. You guys are still gonna watch it. There's a theory out there that there actually is an end credit scene. The cut I saw seemed like there was a cut at the end, like where it could have been like taken out. So I have a prediction on that, which I'm not going to talk about it here because some of you guys have not seen it. But I do have a video on Nerd Report if you want to see who or what may happen. So, and it's just a prediction. I have no idea myself. We didn't see anything like that. So there you go. People love end credit scenes. They want everything to happen, everything to be connected or whatever. I don't know if it happens or not. So I have no idea about that. But we do know one thing is that the whole story about Pedro Pascal wanting to take off his mask was bullshit. It was bullshit.
That's bullshit. When I first heard it, I'm like, dude, no one's going to believe this. Who could possibly believe this? The guy went in on a contract knowing that he wasn't going to lift off his helmet for 3 years.
And he probably doesn't want to go on the set. He's probably better off just calling in the voiceovers. He could do that from home. He could have an entire voiceover booth or voice booth set up in his house and chill, and just do the voiceover. Do it like this, do it like that as he gets direction. So, yeah, that story was bullshit. Sorry to say. And stuff like that. But it was great because I was watching on Popcorn Planet earlier that his entire thing was, when asked, was that he respects the character, that the character's personality and what makes the character great is that he has that oath never to take off the mask, right? That's what the Mandalorian, that's what he does, right? So he likes that aspect of the show. So yeah, Pedro Pascal, although I think he's hot as hell, will not be taking off his mask all the time.
He's had enough TV shows and movies where he had his mask off that he doesn't need to worry about that.
Yeah, he's not upset at it. He's not throwing tantrums.
Disney, hey, give me an extra $100,000 and I'll shut up over this. Like, that's the kind of world he's living in.
Lewis, I've been thinking about your end credit scene, and I haven't seen it, so I can speculate all day, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, I think I'm pretty far off, dude. There's nothing. Well,
I think it'll suck if they do it because it'll justify what Grace said. But I'm trying to think, like, well, what do you set up? And if they're going to set up anything, it's Flashpoint. Why not have Flash fly in the 80s or whatever it is? I don't know how it ends, but the times in that there's a way to sort of throw that in there to allow DC to promote the next big thing and get Flashpoint a little bit more excited. That's where you do it. If DC is able to get her to agree, and they can do a Gal Flash scene or something, that'd be epic. There's a million creative fun ways you could do that if they really were paying attention, but who knows if they even connect anymore, if Patty wants to connect them. So if they're just doing sort of a button to a scene, I don't think she's going to do Wonder Woman 3 for a while. I think that this episode has gotten adjusted. So I don't know what you would do unless it's just a little joke button, which is probably more likely. But what do you think? Do you think Flash is a possibility?
Do I think it's a possibility? Yes, I think it's a possibility. But then again, look, when you're asking me not to spoil things, not that you're asking me personally, when I say there's no spoilers, I think I get in trouble or if I mention anything. So yeah. Either way, I want people to be surprised. But I do think that you may have a point. Flashpoint may be possible, but then again, that would mean that she's committed, or at least Gal may be committed to the Flashpoint movie.
But there's rumors that they're all going to appear in the beginning or a portion of that movie.
Yeah.
Because Cyborg was up for a little portion, and Affleck's already committed, and so getting her at least isn't that hard. Hard. And they may have shot it while she. Who knows? It was a while ago. But anyway, yeah, it's not impossible. I think we'll see.
Well, I released that video the day after I saw it with my prediction. So like at least I have credit for it, and so it's available. So people can go, "Hey, Lewis said it for once." But David, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I would say with a Gal, if Flashpoint or whatever, she'll be committed to doing that. And not just contractually. It's just like, look, if it got out in the fan community, that she had a chance to be in one of these movies and she blew it off, that'll hurt her way more than anything else. And like, she's now Wonder Woman. She's going to show up as Wonder Woman, and she has a bit more oomph because of that. But that also requires her to be more willing to play with the team than, say, Patty, who can go off and do something else. So we'll be seeing her for Wonder Woman, Gal for Wonder Woman 3 when that's greenlit in like 3 or 4 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't bring Patty back for that with a great apology and a metric ton of dollars.
It also depends how well she's doing in the other movies. If the Star Wars movie or Cleopatra come out and bomb, then easier to get back.
There's all these other factors that can come up in that regard. But it's also just like, look, we're very, very sorry. We fired those guys. They're gone. Just like your video with about Ye Fisher there. And just go like, hey, please come back. We'll give you 50% of the take. We just want our $1 billion Wonder Woman trilogy. Okay?
Andy would stick to the fake.
Yeah. Don't disagree.
Yeah, I would love for her to come back because, hey, I like the movie. You're sticking with the DCEU. So Zack Snyder has told EW, or maybe like I think they have the interview that the Justice League, his cut, the Snyder cut, the Snyder version, the Snyder remake, or whatever it is, it may be rated R. It may be rated R, but not because Batman gets it on with Harley Quinn. Not because he gets it on with the Catwoman, or both at the same time, which is something I would like to see. It's basically because Batman drops an F-bomb.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
So dumb.
The question is, though, will HBO Max have a little section there that says adults only superhero movies? Like, so we can click on it. F-bomb Justice League.
Only if every other word in the movie from all the characters is fuck.
Listen, I hope it's good though. Still, Gerald Leto or Leto.
Leto.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Listen, tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? No, this Thursday. The Mandalorian ends.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Depressing me.
Okay.
No, I don't want it to end. I'm enjoying it.
Exactly.
I love it too because I watch it with my kids. I get up early while they're in school and watch it first because I can't wait. And then it's always good. So I watch it again and they're always so excited. I've been watching every week with them week to week. And it's like the first time like they're into Star Wars. I'm like, yes. And I'm bummed I have to wait a whole nother year to keep them engrossed in Star Wars. But yeah, I'm going to be sad. And I think they're going to leave us in a cliffhanger. I don't know where you go, but spoiler alert. I don't think they're going to save the thing they're after.
Oh, come on. Really?
That's my prediction.
Okay. Spoilers.
I think they're going to leave that open-ended.
Guys, I've not watched a single episode, but
I'm waving my hand right now. I'm waving my hand right now. We're going to do some Mandalorian predictions. This means spoiler starts. And when you see me wave my hand again, that means spoiler end. So wave my hand first time, spoiler starts. If they do not save the child and leave it like that, I'm going to throw my shoe at the TV. I think they are going to save the child. I think they're all going to unite to fight Gideon.
No,
And-
Ahsoka's not coming back.
No, I'm talking about Boba Fett.
Oh,
Cara
well, we already
Dune.
see. Yeah, they're all there, of course.
And I think the secret they're gonna save the child. It's gonna be
Secret Jedi is the big question of whether they'll do
right. That's the cliffhanger. The secret Jedi. There's a lot of possibilities, right? And I think they're all good. But I'm pushing
Mace Windu, Luke. There's a bunch of
Mhm.
possibles, but I feel like fans have gotten too excited, and it's not going to be what we expect. And I think, I don't know. What is it going to be? A half hour, 40 minutes to like? What a waste of that story. I would watch
40
4 more
minutes?
episodes of them trying to get the child back among the ship and what's going on. So it's like, do I really want them just to rush through him breaking through in 40 minutes and then?
Is it only 40? Can we confirm that?
I mean, usually what, 30, maybe it's an hour.
They
Maybe
had a
it's more.
50-minute show with
It better
Favreau.
be an hour if they're going to do it, because it's like I just feel like it's going to rush it. And then if my prediction is I'll be shocked if they save Baby Yoda. I hope they do, but I think they will do a very small. The button of the show, whether Yoda is saved or not, and I think he won't be saved, will be him speaking to a Jedi, and then we'll get the reveal that it's Mace or somebody sort of doing the whatever that, the line. That'll be your ending button to sort of know what season 3 is going to be about. Blank showing up. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't want Sebastian Stan, not because I don't, as Luke, not because I don't like Sebastian Stan. It's because I don't want them to make another Luke Skywalker adventure movie and then I don't want a standalone Luke Skywalker movie. Put it that way. I don't want them to mess with Luke anymore. Just leave it alone. The only thing that I think they may do is have Luke find the child or Grogu, train him for a bit. And I think he'll learn from Grogu how to shut himself off from the Force like he did it in the Last Jedi. That's what I think. But okay, so I think
Will's right too. Do you see what Will Morris just put out there?
Where is he?
He said, last year it ended in Mando's favor. This season has to end in Gideon's favor. I agree.
Oof, good.
I think they're gonna solve it. I think we're living in an ADD.
You can't kill. That's too good of a villain. You got to extend that out. And if you really go to westerns, the bad guy's always stretched out. I don't know. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if
they won't kill him.
They're not going to give you what you want in this episode. They're going to give you a cool episode. They're going to give you a moment or two. They're like, what? Or the reunion. But then they're going to realize it's not the task isn't over. And then there's a bigger task, and he's still stuck. Whatever.
I think they're going to beat Gideon.
Season 2s usually are also. First season, you want to save your audience, or you want to bring them in and deliver. Season 2 now, we're hooked. So they can get away with a cliffhanger at the end of this one, and I think it's going to frustrate people.
Well, what if they get the child from Gideon, and then Gideon goes and answers to a higher power, and it's a Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then it cuts.
I mean, that would be a bigger deal. That could be.
I mean, we get the Jedi, and huh?
Look, I haven't watched the second season, any episodes yet, and I won't until the last episode drops.
That was stupid of you. It's all getting spoiled. It's been super fun.
I don't care about
it now.
Kind of situation.
Watch it. Okay, I'm gonna wave my hands. Anything else you guys want to add?
I got it all out.
Okay. You may re-enter the Nerd Report. All right, there you go. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoy that. We will be live for that as soon as it drops. At 12.
I'm with Will. At Will again. Not spoiler, but I think they got to go. The Empire Strikes Back.
Of course,
dude. I think the Empire Strikes Back was 2 episodes ago.
No, I think this whole season they got it. Empire Strikes Back does not end on a high note. It ends on a low note. It's the end of an act.
Be careful with spoilers because I waved my hands back.
I'm just saying. We're not talking about specifics. I'm just saying. I think all I'm saying is I think the season finale, season 2 will end. And I'm speculating. I don't know. It's not a spoiler. I think it'll end on a downer instead of an upper.
I think it's Disney. It's going to be an upper with a bit of a bittersweet. Where what I said earlier. I almost spoiled it. All right, guys. Last topic. Star Wars related as well. Naomi Aki. Did you guys report on this, Andy, earlier?
No.
Naomi Aki. She plays Jannah in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
And she has been hired to play Whitney Houston in a biopic.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it's by the Houston estates. They love what she's doing. And also, it's being produced by the guys that brought Bohemian Rhapsody. So I like Whitney Houston, but my question is, if the movie is being greenlit by her estates, will they get real?
No.
But then again, Bohemian Rhapsody was greenlit, wasn't it? They had the blessing of the band, right? Queen.
Yeah, the band didn't want to do Sacha Baron Cohen's cut because he wanted to get into sort of the darker stuff, and they refused. That's why he ended up bailing.
Okay, I do understand that story. I gotta say, Bohemian Rhapsody is kind of like a fantasy to me because I'm not a big fan of like rock music and stuff like that. I apologize and stuff, and I knew very little about Queen. But I came out of that movie on cloud 9. I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think a lot of people are harsh on the movie just because they feel like they have to be because it's directed by Bryan Singer, and I got my own the whole Bryan Singer debate, the whole separate topic. But separate yourself from whatever the feelings are of the director. Like I thought Rami Malek did a great job. I thought the movie was actually solid. There are some serious parts. Sure, it doesn't go as dark as it probably could have with Freddie. But the music of Queen's music is so good. And I love the way they go through it and sort of give you the greatest hits and history of it. I did actually very much enjoy it. I thought it was way better than people gave it credit.
I think it did go dark. And sometimes
there are some dark moments, but I mean, it didn't go as dark as it could have. But yeah, it didn't shy away from all of it.
But also the argument with the critics that were saying that was like, they, it didn't go dark enough. It didn't respect, what's it called? Freddie Mercury would happen. But Freddie Mercury did not want to be known as the guy who got AIDS. He didn't want to be known as that because after the film, I went off and looked at interviews. I watched interviews. I saw a lot of the stuff he didn't want any, well, at least maybe I have it wrong, but that's what I got out of it. So I love that.
Who got AIDS. Rock Hudson is the guy who got AIDS.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, Freddie Mercury, what that movie did for me is make me a fan of the real life Freddie Mercury and check out Queen's music and enjoy it. And I went off researching everything on the internet I could find about him, and I loved it. So if they could do that, Whitney Houston, I'm a little bit more familiar with. Of course, is it My Bodyguard? The Bodyguard with the. Is that the name of the movie?
I will always love Lewis.
Oh my God. You were trying to sing?
Yeah.
I thought my dogs were going into a convulsion. Oh man. But yeah, I do like Whitney Houston's stuff. So maybe like if it's as good as Bohemian Rhapsody for me, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. You guys excited for this?
Did you see this?
No.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm not excited for that. But you see, I didn't know Into the Spider-Verse 2 got a release date and a director.
Spider-Man 2?
Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Okay.
It's coming
what day?
October 7th, 2022, and it's directed by Joaquim Dos Santos, who did Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon. So that's encouraging.
Oh,
Dave Calhoun, who wrote Wonder Woman 84 and Shang-Chi, is writing the script. Phil Lord, Chris Miller are returning as producers. That's pretty cool.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's from yesterday. How do we all miss that? It's a good scoop.
Huh? Maybe it's something you want to make a video for, standalone and stuff like that. Since news has been really dry lately, so I think it's smart that you're going to supernatural or alien invasion stuff. I can't wait to check that out.
Figure shit out, yeah.
But yeah, hey, look, the way I look at it, we get repeat business from these streams. I watch Popcorn Planet. He's got the community over there on fire, and YouTube should promote your channel more because the people who are there like it, and that's what they say the algorithm wants. Repetitive business, repetitive views from the same people staying and watching, but they don't promote it. So what I want to ask everyone to do in our community, Jody's Corner, you watch Jody's Corner, you watch Spy Guy and Popcorn Planet, share the shit out of their stuff and tell a friend and stuff so we can keep doing this. And, it is what it is. All right. Any last words you want to add, David, before we go?
No, I think we were pretty good tonight.
All right. Pre-sober today?
Yeah. I ran out of rum 2 hours ago. So.
Did you? Come on. When's Dark Fate happening?
He did it.
Oh,
I already did it.
Is it up?
I did last Sunday. You can go over to my channel.
Oh, I did. I'm subscribed. It didn't. You see? Now, welcome to YouTube. Didn't get notified.
Patrick B with the super chat. You were absolutely right, man. I almost skipped that. I did put that up on the one of the topics. We'll go through it real quick. Why aren't we not talking about the Tommy Lee movie? I think it's because it's an afterthought. So Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee had this tape. It's the tape people used to use to get really, really. I mean, they were famous already, and then to get super famous, you accidentally release one of these tapes, adult tapes, sex tapes.
Like one of the first.
Yeah. So there seems to be there's actually a TV show in the works starring Lily James and Sebastian Stan. Not as Luke Skywalker, probably as Tommy Lee. Where is this going to air?
Hulu.
Oh, it's a Hulu original. All right. Does anybody have Hulu around? Does anyone have Hulu? Well, I could tell you that this tape back in 2003 or 2 or 5, I'm not sure, was very, very popular at Comic-Con. The Blu-ray, you could get it at Comic-Con. That's all I know about it. And it wasn't that exciting, but so you could have a series out of this. Could you make a series out of this? Andy, could you make a series out of this?
Sorry, I was watching. I'm going to talk about it, but I was watching David's Terminator Dark Fate. I didn't realize it's a whole 2.5 hours. I'm going to have to make some time for that. That sounds worth it. But yes, I do think there's a series there.
For the early part.
I thought it was. I thought that show looks fun. I love that Seth Rogen is playing the guy who got the tape.
Okay.
I'm on board. I think I like Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. I think they're good producers, writers. I loved Long Shot. I don't know if anybody watched that. That was on my top 10 last year. I'm a fan of them. So if they're doing it and they're on board, then I'm going to check it out.
All right. So it's probably going to be more of a comedy, right?
Lily James is hot. Sebastian Stan's a good actor. I want to see them as Pamela and Tommy Lee. It's going to be fun.
David, you don't have Hulu over there. They're saying on the
Star.
Yeah, I could get Stars because that comes from Amazon Prime.
Okay. I don't know what was the point of that investor meeting telling us that about adult content and then say, hey, no one in the US could have it, but whatever. Maybe I'm being selfish.
No, we should have it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm really disappointed in that Wonder Woman's getting released earlier anywhere. So spoilers are going to be everywhere.
Yeah,
so
I'm pissed because I'm seeing it on Tuesday and it's now opens tomorrow, right? So
yeah, it'll
be all over. I'm sure the torrents will start showing up.
Now, look, don't get me wrong. It's not that I want to see it first. I did see it. I'm lucky enough to see it, right? But I think it should be released simultaneously everywhere. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't get why. Because apparently someone was saying, because someone called me selfish online for saying,
oh yeah, okay,
the same date. But apparently the holiday season isn't a good time there. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Then release it a week earlier, whatever it is. Same day for everybody, so we can all watch it the same day. There's no reason why it shouldn't be that.
Yeah, I agree. Rest in peace, Australia box office. What do you mean? Oh, because of the pirating. All right, we'll leave you with that.
So, did you like Dark Fate, or on a scale of 1 to 10, just the recap to inspire me to watch the rest?
I gave it a 55 on my out of 100.
Oh wow, that's more than you probably did. Is that more than you thought?
Yeah, well, the movie had some good moments. I thought everything that Linda Hamilton did was great.
I liked Arnold too.
I don't like
Jokey. He did
Arnold.
well. There were some other. The problem is, there's it tries to rehash 1 and 2 so many times.
Always.
I'm like, I saw this chase scene better in 2, or this scene was done better in 1, and that ending. Everyone's talking about how this movie was so woke. That's why it went broke. And I'm like, I watched the ending. That's not woke.
Yeah, no,
She's
the ending
literally rescued by the robot.
I agree. There's some stuff that's woke, I guess, but I think that was all a forced, weird problem with the movie. The movie,
yeah, it's just wokeness. Yeah, I was led to believe that this movie was terrible in one way, and it was like, no, it was terrible in other ways.
I still didn't like what they did to Connor. It didn't make it. That was blasphemy.
Yeah,
but it could be
what,
undone.
You know what?
It could be undone.
If he had been killed by a car crash, that would have been much more interesting to me than just having the Terminator come and kill him. Like,
yeah, I agree.
That would have been like so much more empathetic. And the other problem I have is the fact that they chose this little tiny girl to be the savior of humanity. Give me Gina Carano as Danny.
What about Yoda? Yoda's smaller than her, and he saved the galaxy.
Yeah, but he's got the Force.
Not the same situation here,
No,
Lewis. That's just not what
I gotta disagree with you, David, about size. People are too stuck on size. Do you know a guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger cannot fight worth crap because his muscles will not let him fight? You know, skinny guys, 160, 6 foot.
Yeah, I was one of those 160 guys with a blue belt in Taekwondo. I understand that. But I just don't take.
Well,
I just didn't
get a refund then, because then you shouldn't have size of a
humanity. It was
get a refund from your Taekwondo instructor. Just kidding. Taekwondo sounds like they took your dough, okay? Because they didn't teach you. Not just kidding.
I don't think boards with my bare hands, Lewis. I'm not going to get in a fight on this one. You know what I would have done?
Boards are broken
that's
already.
part of my stream is that I came up with alternate stories that I thought were better. How is this for a Terminator movie? It's set 20 years after Terminator Dark Fate, or the Terminator movie's final fight with Skynet happens. So 20 years after that, you're in a small town. There's all these people out there. There's like some sheriff who's there, and you just do like a whole Jaws remake using Terminator, where one of these machines rises up and starts murdering people in the small town. The sheriff has nowhere else to go. There's some old hermit up in the mountains that they can bring in, and they bring him down. It's Michael Biehn, and he's brought in to solve this Terminator mess. And then you find out at the end of the movie that that guy who they brought down, the hermit who's playing the Jaws part, that was actually John Connor, living in exile. No one knows this till the last. I think that movie
why I would love to watch that movie.
Made that movie for a fraction of the budget and blown everyone's mind away.
You know why I would love to see that? That will make that way Dark Fate won't be the worst one.
Okay.
No, Genesis.
I'm just messing with you, bro.
Yeah, Genesis is worse than this.
Genesis.
That's my takeaway.
I loved the idea of Arnold in Genesis. That was probably my favorite, where Arnold keeps the photo and you see him actually aging and potentially adjusting. That to me, that was the one thing Cameron added to Genesis that I loved, but everything else about it was complete garbage.
Yeah, I don't like the way it feels like every time Arnold comes back, he has to have one-liners. Like, no matter, it's like.
But like the whole idea of the Dark Fate spoilers has been out for over a year. The whole idea of like Arnold like finding a family and being a good husband and just doing it, like I found that fascinating. He's like, well, my mission was over, so I found another task, and it sort of adjusted him. That again, Arnold somehow in both Genesis and Dark Fate were not the problems for me. There were just other stupid things about it, but yeah.
I thought there was like a first or second draft of this movie that was much better, and that the whole thing got torn apart in rewrites. That's what I thought.
I think Terminator movies, they all get in a room and they're like, okay, we're gonna make another Terminator movie. What is Terminator? One-liners, an action scene with what's it called? A car in the freeway, like going fast.
Yeah,
they have to do the same thing all the time. And then there's a prophecy, right? John Connor. Doesn't matter who it is, as long as there's like a John Connor, figure, Jesus figure, kind of, right? And it just does the same thing over and over again, and it doesn't venture out. Salvation tried. I think if we watch Salvation again, we're gonna be like, that wasn't that bad. It's the only Terminator.
I never thought Salvation was awful. The problem with Salvation is it spent like so much time in development hell that they just racked up these huge bills that they could not pay off when the movie came out. That's a lot of the problem with Terminator, is that they have a core audience. It's like, I remember watching Sharpening with Dan back on Screen Junkies, and he explains, look, Genesis and Dark Fate's audience on the first opening weekend was about 12 million people. And you should budget out your movie based on knowing how much people are going to show up to buy tickets and pay for the movie. And Dark Fate spent $50 million more than what they could make, or $100 million more than what they were going to make, knowing what their audience was going to be.
David, and I understand that, but it doesn't. I don't. Okay, so like I ignore how much it costs, but the movies are not that good. For what anything to continue the series. I think people do want that James Cameron future war. I do feel that they could still kind of do that, but a big problem to me is that
hold on, wait, they can't do that because if you follow the rules of Terminator 2, it's over. Like if Terminator 2 was Dark Fate sort of resets that by saying, well, no, it's never over. There's always gonna be another version of it, which it's kind of stupid. But then the need for John Connor doesn't exist. At the end of part 2, John Connor is done. Terminators are stopped. There's that it's over. They capped it. That's what happens at the end of 2. So nothing makes sense after 2 is the problem.
Well, the big problem is you missed something.
3, but it doesn't work. But the problem is none of it works. But I was going to say I also wanted to call out Paul. He's saying that Arnold was the perfect husband for the woke. No sex and did all the work. Paul, you've clearly never been married. There's a lot of no sex marriages that happen. So it's a cool partnership where you get along and help each other and don't get sucked into the whole sex part or being I disagree with you. There are actually a lot of healthy, nice relationships, and that's what I liked. It was just like they were partners who just helped each other, respected each other, and were nice to each other. I like that. I didn't find that woke at all. You're stretching, man.
Okay, I will say this though, Andy, it ended at part 1 because Kyle Reese says specifically that they had won the war and that Skynet's last thing was that they saw that he made a time machine, and as they were sending the T-800 or the T-101, whatever, the first Arnold back, he went right after him, and then the time machine was destroyed. And also the thing that,
there's a lot of Terminator stuff that got left at the end of 1.
No, that's his explanation. And check this out. This is the one thing that's always bothered me about Terminator, that after part 3 it got ridiculous, is that it was specifically said that the Arnold Schwarzenegger model of Terminator infiltrates in the resistance and they're very hard to detect. Therefore, they got to all look different. And then in part 3, they're like, oh, they all come out of assembly where they all look the same. So that would mean that there's thousands of Arnold Schwarzenegger looking Terminators out there. And all the resistance would have to do is put a picture of Arnold as a Terminator, right, on the wall saying, do not let this guy in. And that's it. In the first one,
you're thinking Salvation, but
it's they came out of an assembly line, and that's dumb if you're not, because they're not detectable. Terminator 1, these new models, they're impossible to detect. They breathe, they even smell, he says. That's what Kyle Reese says. So it's like the only way they could detect them is dogs, from what I understand. The dogs were barking at them. So that's one thing I really hated it. And it was an excuse to constantly bring Arnold back. But I mean, maybe there wasn't any other way to do that because Arnold is, he's the star of the show, but the explanation was just whack.
Yeah, I got to rewatch because I don't follow you on that one. I don't know if that's correct.
I understand where you're coming from there, Lewis.
Yeah. Did you remember, or you don't understand, David?
No, I understand what you're saying. I remember all that stuff.
Cameron's confirming the arm and the chip were left behind in T1. Skynet sent 2, possibly 3 Terminators back through time right before the Colorado base was raided, and Skynet lost. There was stuff they left behind after 1. 2, they have to go get those items, remember? And then they throw them down the lava. At that point, then there's no evidence. At the end of 2, they wipe the evidence out, including Arnold, who's like, you have to get me out too.
Right.
Plus, she's like out there making tapes, and there's the doctors, and there's a lot of evidence that it still happened that could maybe parlay into it. Still happened.
In two, they explain it's the same Terminator as 1. You reprogram me to protect you in this time. That's what he says. So actually,
no, it's not the same one from the first movie.
It says you reprogram me to protect you in this time.
Yeah, they
So
capture one who was with Arnold.
but they created an
prototype
alternate
or
timeline,
whatever.
though. They created an alternate timeline. If you got two, now they got two Terminators looking exactly the same. So what's it called? John Connor, knowing what happens, reprograms the same one from part one to go back again.
No,
and
it's not the
protect
same one from
the
part
liquid
one.
metal.
I don't know. One in part one, he leaves his arm and a piece of its head behind, and that's what they have to destroy in part two.
But that's actually what creates Skynet.
I understand that. It's a time loop. We're now entering the Tenet territory.
Yeah.
Yep. Bootstrap paradox.
Oh, and speaking of Tenet, it comes out tomorrow, so I'll have a review this week pretty soon. An honest review. Had
you not seen it, or you did?
I have not seen it. No,
I
can't wait. I can't
He's
wait.
seen Tenet, and he's seen Wonder Woman 84. I feel he has it better than us.
Who, me?
Yep.
Oh no, we'll see. It looks. I hope it's
careful with the spoilers, man. Don't read Yasha's comment. The hell you doing?
Care. Is it a Tenet spoiler?
Yeah, Tenet spoiler. Josh, come on.
No, I've been avoiding.
I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Well, I mean, look, I'll read what you have to say if you super chat. Then I'm spoiled. And I'll also have money to buy it, the Tenet. So yeah, $20 tomorrow streaming. Spoiled Tenet for $20 super chat on the Nerd Report. Look, I gotta go, but we could debate Terminator all day long.
Exactly.
All right, so I'll talk to you guys. Popcorn Planet, give them a follow.
Deuces,
and also hook up.
Dropped a new episode of Hugging the Cactus today.
Oh yeah.
What's up the next? That's a more serious talk. Sean Chandler of Sean Chandler Talks Movies comes in and talks about his alcoholism, sobriety. It's a pretty intense but inspirational talk, and I think anybody who struggles with any issue might relate to. So hear it out. It's a good time. Got more coming. Stay tuned. Always good to be here, Lewis. Drop him some love.
No idea what the Nerd War is going to be.
We actually have a bunch of good guests this week. I think Chris Score's coming back. You know Chris.
Yeah, I love Chris.
I got some. I think Jesse is back. Jesse Milestone, who's been on before. SJW Jesse. And then we have
energy. Hey, look, I don't know if Jesse likes me, but I'll say this. I don't never really talk to her, but I will say this: good energy with Jesse. Two good people right there. Go ahead. Who else?
And then we have a couple other people making debuts. But one of them is huge on TikTok. But anyway, stay tuned. We got some fun new guests this week. That it should be a fun show.
And Chris Gore is he's old school, so his knowledge goes back real far, and he's still a young guy.
We're still trying to figure out what the topic is. Depending on the news, we'll probably have a couple obvious or just fun general ones this week. And then Monday will be next Monday will be the Mandalorian episode. Now that the Mandalorian season 2 will be wrapped, we'll do a fight then, and then we're going to do a Wonder Woman one after everyone's got a chance to see Wonder Woman. So we got some fun with the store.
Dude, I'll be there on Thursday. I'll check it out.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Oh, and if you're in Los Angeles, check out Frankenson in the City of Industry, 17835 Gale Avenue, City of Industry. It's not that far from the actual downtown LA. We're doing a toy drive all the way till Christmas. So they are open tomorrow. I'm involved with it. We're open Monday through Friday, 3 to 9, Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5. Okay. The pandemic is out, but it's very important to get toys to kids. Okay. And this year is going to be really bad for them. Every child deserves a toy. They're going to be seeing kids with toys on TV and stuff in other states and cities. They have a ton of toys already collected. They've teamed up with the sheriff department, the local sheriff department, and there's literally like 10,000 Star Wars toys, Batman. But if you have a toy laying around that you don't use, head over there, take a drive, and just drop it off. You don't have to stay in shop, but just drop it off so every child has something to open during this holiday season and stuff, and they don't feel like they've been left behind. Although there's a lot of toys there, there's a lot of kids, like way more than there are toys. So Frankenson, Google it, and hope to see you there. Ask for Lewis. I'll say hi. All right, nerd out.
Good cause.